Let's turn to business news now with Nona. Hi, Nona. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to everyone.
I just want to know, when you go back to Canada for Christmas as you did, is that going home, or when you return to New Zealand afterwards, is that coming home?
Well, it's both, John.
Two
it's
homes.
both. I'm so lucky, aren't
are.
I? Yes,
Yeah.
indeed.
Well, we're delighted you're back. The dairy cooperative Fonterra, disappointed with the performance of its Chinese partner. Is its name really Being Mate?
Being Mate is its name,
It's
yes,
the
indeed.
stupidest name in the history of business, isn't it?
Well, that might be the least of their problems.
The company's downgraded its earnings forecast. It's going to make a bigger full-year loss. What's been Fonterra's reaction to that, Nona?
Well, not very good. They're very disappointed, and not only because this has been going on for a while. They bought this company with high hopes that this would be a way of them really having a solid partner in China, taking advantage of the opportunities a Chinese partner would bring. For example, one of the things that Fonterra was hoping for was this registration of dairy recipes. You know, that had to be approved by January 1. Being Mate, being on the ground, actually had a lot of their recipes approved, over 50 of them. But Fonterra said in their media release this afternoon that Being Mate hasn't taken advantage of the opportunities posed by those early registrations. So what does that mean? We don't really know yet. What impact that's going to have, again, we don't know. The other thing that they raised as an issue, in addition to the losses that the company has announced, is that the directors of the board have raised some concerns about some aspects of the financial reporting of the company. So I guess we're going to hear a lot more when the company reports its interim result in March. That's probably about mid-March when we're going to get that. The market's reaction has been somewhat muted. I mean, the share price fell about 0.75%, and that's on an up day. So yeah, they fell, what, 5 cents to $6.47.
Yeah, that is.
That's the Fonterra fund.
It's anniversary day in Wellington, so the markets would be quiet today anyway, as
Yeah,
well, wouldn't
exactly.
they?
Yeah. So there's that. But yeah, overall, you know, it's a disappointing thing for Fonterra. They didn't make any bones about that.
No.
Yeah. So
NZX released the feedback on its plans to revise the market's listing rules.
yeah, actually, revitalize might have been a good word to use there, because that's really the reason why they're reviewing those listing rules. Now, they haven't been reviewed since 2003, so there's been a lot of change going on. You know, it's interesting. So they announced this last week. It's not that this is old news, but one of the things that was raised by a number of submissions to the first round of feedback was this idea that at an annual meeting, you have to have a show of hands to count votes. And some of the submitters said, look, this is ridiculous. Like, come on, one vote, one share, one share, one vote, and every vote counts. No more of this turn up at a meeting with some proxies. That's just totally antiquated. Yeah. And that needs to be banned, that all companies should be counting everybody's votes, not just who turns up at a meeting with a handful of proxies to, So.
Yeah, that does rather predate the internet, doesn't it?
It does seem so. So that's an example.
I
That's
reckon
an
the
example.
internet might stick around.
But there were much bigger fish to fry than that. I mean, that's an important one. But the other issues were much. You know, there was a number of other issues, and we spoke with Mark Lister today, and a number of other people who have had an interest in this. And he said, look, don't expect anything to happen in the immediate term. This is a long-term thing. But we have some audio from him, and perhaps we can hear that.
It's not going to make any huge difference overnight. We definitely do need to see more listings. You've got KiwiSaver money that's growing every week, and you're not seeing any of those bigger companies come to market. So if you did see some more activity at the smaller and the medium end of town, then that would absolutely be good for investors. It'd be good for the capital markets. We've seen quite a few companies end up in offshore hands over the last few years, and we need to do something, I guess, as a capital markets group of participants and the NZX and the government all together to try and ensure that these growing, exciting companies see the NZX as a viable place to get their capital.
That's the head of wealth research at Craig's Investment Partners, Mark Lister. What else happened on the markets today? So Fonterra just off a tiny bit, about 5 cents. What else was going on?
Well, overall, the index rose more than 0.5%. Quite a strong day. But again, Wellington was closed. Yeah. So we rose about 45 points to 8,335, and that was against a backdrop of some uncertainty over what's going on with the U.S. With the basically the bill that failed to pass, which would have kept government government funding going. So it's hard to know whether that's going to have any impact. I guess we'll know more once the U.S. market opens.
That is a particularly micro U.S. situation, though, isn't it?
It is, but it does strike the market in terms of confidence.
Yeah.
If you've got a president that can't get through that kind of a bill, then
Yeah.
it does tend to point to leadership issues, and that does unease people for sure. And of course, our dollar is steady. It's been holding on to its gains at 72.8 US cents, 91.1 cents Australian, and 52.5 pence.
Thanks, Nona. What was weather like in Canada? Where are you? You're from Winnipeg, aren't you?
That's one of the coldest places. I want to say colder. What's the word? Colder than Mars? Actually, we have a Winnipeg Mars, so that goes to tell you how cold it really was. It was some days with the wind chill like minus 50.
Holy moly.
Very, very, very
So you just
cold.
wouldn't go outside at all?
Well, no, you actually do get out, but you just don't stay out very long.
Lovely to have you back. Lovely to have you back home, Nona. Thank you very much. Nona Peltier, doing business, part of our excellent business team that joins us each night at about 5:33 throughout the year.